Two brothers from London built the most profitable entertainment product in the history of the human race. They've never done a press tour. They've never walked a red carpet. Most gamers have never seen their faces. Their game has made $10 billion, and they did it by breaking every rule the industry had. Sam Houser was born in London 1971. His brother Dan 2 years later. Their mother was an actress who starred in British crime films. Their father was a soldier who played saxophone. As kids, they didn't dream about making games. They dreamed about making trouble. Sam got a job at BMG Interactive, a music label's gaming division. One day, a prototype arrived on his desk from a Scottish studio called DMA Design. It was called Race and Chase, a chaotic top-down driving game. Sam looked at it and saw something no one else did. He renamed it Grand Theft Auto. When BMG got bought by Take-Two, the brothers moved to New York and founded Rockstar Games in December 1998. Sam was 27, Dan was 25. Their mission? Make games that felt like crime films. Not kids' toys, not family entertainment, art for adults.
Low rent AI, like it was a simulation that you could prod and push and see what happened. And I think that was incredibly, it was two things. It was the fact that here was a simulation that you could mess about with, and the simulation seemed to have a personality.
And then in October 2001, they released GTA 3, the first fully 3D open world crime game. You could steal any car, go anywhere, do anything. Nothing like it have ever existed, and overnight, Rockstar went from a small New York startup to the most controversial company in gaming. What followed was the most dominant run in gaming history. Vice City in 2002, an entire decade recreated in a video game. Scarface meets Miami Mice, a soundtrack so good people bought the game just for the radio. San Andreas 2004, 3 cities, a desert, a forest, gang warfare, and a character who could actually get fat. The most ambitious open world anyone had ever attempted. But with success comes a target on your back. In 2005, modders discovered hidden content in San Andreas called Hot Coffee, an inaccessible minigame with sexual content. The ESRB re-rated the game to adults only. Hillary Clinton called for a federal investigation. Take-Two stock crashed. Lawsuits piled up. And inside Rockstar, Dan Houser thought the company was finished.
We'd had all that hot coffee drama, so constantly thought we might be shut down in the middle of making that. A lot of drama in the company.
But they survived, and they came back harder. GTA 4 in 2008, darker, grittier, $1 billion in its first week. Red Dead Redemption in 2010, a western so beautiful it won over 160 Game of the Year awards. Time magazine named the Houser brothers 2 of the 100 most influential people in the world. And they still refused to do interviews. They let the games speak for themselves. And then came the masterpiece. September 17, 2013, Grand Theft Auto 5. $800 million in its first 24 hours, $1 billion in 3 days. The fastest selling entertainment product in the history of the planet. Not the fastest selling game, the fastest selling anything. Faster than any movie, any album, any book, anything ever made. 3 playable protagonists. A world so dense you could spend 100 hours and still find new details.
And then this sort of journey around these various New York characters. So I kind of spent probably a year traveling around with cops or meeting people on and off.
And then came GTA Online, a multiplayer mode that turned into the most profitable recurring revenue stream in gaming history. Almost $1 billion in microtransactions in a single year. 225 million copies sold. Nearly $10 billion in total revenue. A $265 million investment that returned 38 times its cost. No entertainment product in history has ever been this profitable. And when the world thought they couldn't top it, they released Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018, a game so detailed that horse anatomy was accurate, a story so good that grown men cried at the ending. Dan Houser called it the best thing he'd ever made.
Red Dead Redemption 2, in your opinion, is the best thing you've ever done. I think there's a strong case to be made that it's the greatest game of all time. What are the elements that make that game truly great, do you think?
People searching for meaning within amongst the violence. I think that the West and all of the themes around the West really lend itself to that.
And then, in March 2020, the creative soul of Rockstar walked away. Dan Houser, the writer, the director, the voice behind every GTA and every Red Dead, quietly resigned after 22 years.
Of course, it was my whole, it was my life for 20-something years, 21 years or something.
Yeah.
It was, and I moved to America to do it. Grew up doing it, and I was always living in New York. It was at times very intense and at other times magical experience. But it was also just a huge chunk of my life.
No explanation, no farewell, just gone. And in his absence, a question nobody could answer. What does Rockstar become without the man who rolled its soul? Because here's what happened after Dan left. Nothing. No new games, no new stories, just GTA 5, re-released for the third console generation to one of the most disliked trailers in PlayStation history. And GTA Online, the machine that prints money but doesn't need new ideas to do it. The studio that once released a masterpiece every 2 years went over a decade without shipping a single new game. The most dangerous company in gaming went quiet, and the world waited. In December 2023, Rockstar finally broke the silence. One trailer, 90 seconds, Tom Petty on the soundtrack, and a new protagonist named Lucia. It became the most viewed video game trailer in YouTube history within hours of going live. GTA 6 is scheduled for November 2026. It will be the first Grand Theft Auto without Dan Houser's writing, the first test of whether Rockstar can survive without the brothers together. The most anticipated game in the world, from the most secretive studio in the world. Two Brothers from London, a game about stealing cars, $10 billion, 225 million copies, the most profitable entertainment company in the history of the human race, and they built it without ever stepping in front of the camera. Most companies want to be famous. Rockstar just wanted to be dangerous, and that's exactly what made them unstoppable.